Welcome to another chat. Although I wonder if today's going to be more of a rant. That's kind of more what I'm feeling. Yeah, I am reading some of your comments, Robin. And yeah, I have um I have dropped a few good ones with these little bunnies that are also cute and adorable and yet want to eat everything in the garden. And I've never had this problem before. So I'm really frustrated. What first of all, they're eating every strawberry I grow. So I have now had to start buying strawberries at the fruit market. And yesterday, I had planted these beautiful Van Gogh sunflowers, beautiful Van Gogh sunflowers, which are a little pricey. The seeds are a little pricey, and they're a little hard to come by the seeds. You gotta be on it to get them. And I planted them out 2 days ago, went to check on them yesterday, and every one of them, was chewed down to nothing. I think they even, like, ate I guess the seed would have been on the top, but anyway, they took it all and left a very tidy bed, where they were. But yeah, I had a few choice words for those little horrible things, very quickly. So, and I'm seeing, well, here I'm gonna say hi. I'm really in a ranting mood, so I gotta say hi. Sorry, sorry, just jumped right in there. Hi, Joe. Hi, Kentish Gardener. So I assume Kent. You're from Kent-ish, which I know is maybe Kent, but well, hello, Trude, and Nathan, and Leanne, and Joy. Oh, so good to see you. Oh, and Laura. Hello, Chris. Yeah. So anyway, I'm definitely in a ranting kind of mood, and I've seen on Robin's YouTube that you're constructing prisons around your stuff so the rabbits don't get to it. And um I don't want to do that to my garden. It's just finally like I'm down to 2 tables of stuff. And so I've gotten rid of one of my full tables. Um I'm sorry, my husband is calling. And rookie mistake, didn't turn off my phone. But I will do that in just a moment. Um I'm sorry, I'm so ranty here. Okay, I'm getting unfocused because I want to become Elmer Fudd and get a shotgun and go out there and look for some wabbits. I think we have a lot of them this year. But anyway, I don't want my garden to look like a fortress because I've already got all this stuff covered because of the lovely white cabbage butterflies or moths, whatever we're going to call them. So it's kind of starting to look like a bit of a war zone out there, and I don't like it. So, is the only thing that any of you have found is to like build structures around them? They would be a lovely stew. No kidding. I think we have a WhatsApp chat group for potty mouth. And that's what I said. I said, it's time for some stew, some rabbit stew. Uh, but I think maybe, yes, Elmer Fudd was not good, but I think I might aim better than he did. Although I think a shotgun might be overkill. These are rather small rabbits. But anyway, I'll talk a good game like that. I'm not going to poison them. I'm not going to kill them. But I'm not quite sure how else to encourage them to go into someone else's garden rather than mine. And I know we all have our own nemesis. Mine used to be squirrels. Now these guys have like blown the doors off the squirrels. Um, oh, oh, Marie, I'm sorry. And Gomfrina is beautiful. Wow. I'm gonna put some marigolds out tomorrow, and I think they are the ones. And I haven't planted marigolds in a few years because I don't like to have to deadhead things. Um, I don't really like to deadhead, so I haven't grown marigolds for a while. And yet, I think the rabbits also like to eat the heads off of those. So I may just be doing all this work this year to feed local rabbits. Hi, Tracy. Good to have you here. Yeah, no, I really I couldn't stand squirrels were really my nemesis for sure. And I think rabbits have really surpassed them, but I think they are also there's just a whole lot more um rabbits. I think well there's a little couple somewhere, under some brush and they are just cranking them out. Yeah, I do need to channel Elmer Fudd, only shoot better than he did, right? Because somehow bugs always got the best of Elmer. Uh, yes, and that's what I never liked about squirrels, Joy, was they would just deadhead things, or they would a couple of years ago, they got my squash bed, and all they did was take a little nibble out of this one, a little nibble out of that one. I'm like, "Just take one but eat it. Like, you're welcome to have one. I'm happy to share." But they were just going in and doing every one of them. And I thought, that's just not okay. Yeah, I don't think we have red squirrels, Chris. Um, we have like black and I don't know, brownish. They're not my yeah, I'm not a fan. So, anyway, what are you guys I honestly, I was so mad yesterday when I went out there. It almost made me not wanna put anything else in, I'm really glad that my lettuce bed is, like 30 inches tall, so they'd have a hard time jumping that high. Some of those little ones, the little teeny ones, I think could jump that high because their vertical lift is pretty darn good, but, anyway, I'll stop ranting. That felt good to get that off my chest. But what are you guys finding to be your biggest, so I guess really what I'm coming to is I've just gotta put structures up so they can't get in, and then, don't you feel like you miss I mean, I garden in my backyard, so I'm not, like, going somewhere, and can maybe a little more structures are not as, annoying, but, oh, I don't want my backyard to look like that, but I think it's gonna have to. Oh, Tracy, slugs. I'm telling you, I am so glad. Uh, oh, and Mel's having that too. Snails, slugs, and net beds for foxes and cats. See, now I would love to have a fox. I say that because I don't have one, and I don't think I'll ever have one. Um, but I gotta tell the UK gardeners that are here, I don't know how you live with those slugs. Um, the the absolute devastation they seem to do is just ridiculous. At least a bunny, when they're out during the day, at least they look cute. I mean, there's nothing Slugs, obviously don't have that going for them. But I just, and it just seems like they can get into everything. Because, like, what do you do? It's almost impossible to make something slug proof. Um, oh, and pigeons. Oh, I'm not a fan of pigeons either. Um, yeah, I don't get a lot of pigeons either. Occasional seagull will fly over, which I'm thinking, dude, you're like a mile away from the lake. You need to take a left turn. Uh, yeah, Laura gets it. Her tiny garden is right in her yard. Um, yeah, blackbirds. Yeah, those blackbirds. My cat will come out sometimes onto our deck, and we call them grackles over here, but they're black and they wear like a shiny, their feathers are kind of shiny. It looks like a, um, I don't know, what do they call it? Shark skin suit that they're wearing. And they just squawk at him so much because obviously they're warning their buddies that there's a predator out. And I'm like, this cat would never survive in nature. So relax, you're going to be fine. Uh, yeah, okay. So I'm all over the place here today. Uh, oh, so they took out all your raspberries. Oh, I'm so sorry. It is so, I don't know. I'm feeling it more this year. And I think also the weather is different this year, like a lot different. So there haven't been a lot of things to just like things that I used to do that I could just fall back on. It's almost, I feel like I'm almost relearning how to do all of this. And yeah. So Chris is saying that they've had a ridiculous amount of rain, which has probably encouraged them. Sure. That I think we're talking about slugs there and stuff because they like it damp. I mean, that's the only good thing we have here in Detroit is it gets really hot in the summer. So I don't think the slugs really have anywhere to hide or go. Um, oh wow, yeah, yeah. No, I saw you putting it up, Robin, and I felt so bad. Uh, let's see what she's saying here. I totally hate the bunny fencing I put up. However, the green coated chicken wire is a bit easier on the eye. Once I get squash going in July, they'll have to be caged from the squirrels. Yeah, I started putting my squash in what would it be? Like tool bags because they don't like it on their little delicate paws. Apparently don't like how that feels. So, um I found that worked really good. So I didn't have to like tent all of it. I just have to make sure every squash that I see after it's been pollinated gets its own little bag to live in out there. But I thought since I'm going to be doing a lot of seed saving this year, and so I'm going to be trying to isolate certain things, I'm going to have a lot of little bags out there. So maybe that'll look better. But I don't think that's going to keep a bunny from annihilating a crop. Um, Bram is saying, I have pigeons and 500 millimeters of rain in Belgium this year so far, plus clay soil. Wow, that could be challenging. Absolutely. Intrude. Only problem here is that June has been really cold. Mm, okay. Yeah, we're pretty hot today. We're at like 85, I think, and we're going up over 90 tomorrow, which is like 90 is about 32 Celsius. So 85 is maybe 29 Celsius. So we're getting early hot. We don't usually quite get into the 90s when we're still in June, but here it comes. Um, uh, let's see what our friend from Kent is saying. We haven't particularly had a summer here in the UK. So many things aren't growing to where they are meant to be. My two experiences this year are either not growing or bolting really quickly. Yeah, we had probably more of a spring than we normally have. We don't um, we don't really usually have much of a spring, uh, but it did go from nice and cool. You want to enjoy some weather in the 50s and low 60s when you're in spring, but then the next day would be 85. And so a whole lot of things bolted really early for me. Um, yeah, that's what I mean. I think it's not just these dang rabbits. It's this weather is just it's hard to figure it out. Um, Leanne's trying to figure out how to protect her squash and picking cucumbers. Supposed to be 5 Celsius Friday night. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Here we are. I mean, it's essentially mid-June, right? And it's still going down that low. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, wow. Liverpool's going down that low as well. Um, yeah, those are abnormal temperatures for sure. So maybe we need to just drink wine together and be crabby about our gardens. No. Actually, yeah, I would get too crabby, I think. Um, Laura saying she heard on the radio for the month of May here in Ireland, it was warmer than average, but had much less sunshine. Okay, wow. Yeah, our sun here feels like we're a mile away from it. I mean, it is so strong. And I'm noticing because my freckles have really popped out. So obviously, I've been out there a little bit in the garden. I thought sunscreen would not, but maybe sunscreen doesn't affect freckles. Uh, oh, I love it. Wine Wednesday. Yes. Yes. Ah, oh, that's so funny. I do Wine Wednesday with a friend who comes over a little later in the day, and we enjoy a glass or two. But I like the wine. Yes. I don't know, it's going to be that kind of year. I mean, I just got my peppers in just because it's been so. The nighttime temps have concerned me, and peppers they don't like it cool. But I also got my sweet potatoes in, and they're just like it. They do not like it to go cool at night. Um, but it is nice to sit out on the deck when it's a little cooler, and the bugs have seemed to be less because we're getting cooler nights. But okay, so I think wine Wednesday might be a thing where we'll have to start. But it's only 2 in the afternoon here. So well, we'll see. We'll kind of think about that. So I'm trying to figure out really where to put flowers because I'm leaning very heavily into flowers this year. Um, and now these rabbits have made me skittish about how low I can plant them because I don't want them at their level, right? I don't want them to just be able to nibble through all of this stuff. Um, yeah, I think I can't believe how little my pepper plants when I put them out, and they probably went in. I'm gonna say maybe a couple days ago, and I've never put plants in that were so small. So we'll see if we get a killer hot summer. Maybe they will bounce back really quickly. But I have been feeling a bit discouraged between the weather and the animals. Uh oh, hi Jane, welcome. Good to have you. See, I figured out that Robin and I, although she's in Chicago, which is about 5, 6 hour drive from here, um, whatever she has like today as weather, I usually get that the day after. So, okay. And that's really key because it's all about how long it stays cold, right? Um, but it's just been very discouraging. Um, I keep at it and we got to keep each other encouraged about all of it. But man, it's just been I feel like I'm battling uh uphill all the time. And okay, who got blooms and veg? Oh my god, I live close by to Audrey and the rabbit pressure is massive. Yes. What is going on with the rabbits? Are they like a cicada lover? Because the cicadas aren't here yet. But yeah. But oh, they're everywhere. They are everywhere. And it's a big family of rabbits that we have here because they've got to have like 5 little rabbits. And the scary thing is 2 weeks from now, they'll have another 5. So I'm thinking, ah, I don't know what to do with them all. Uh, Hi, Steven. Good to see you. Hi, Rob. Okay. So we need some good news about gardening right now. At least I do. Let me think. What is the good story of gardening right now? My lettuce is growing really well, and I think because it's so high off the ground, the bunnies can't get to it. Um, yes. Okay. Stephen is feeling the pain of all of this crazy stuff. We have rabbit running 3 to 4 deep. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'd love to know what it is about rabbits this year because I have never had this many and so aggressive. And now I'm like, I can't. Um, yeah, I think I might. Uh, I think you might have won, or we might have won with the rabbits because I know you can do certain things to get the rabbits. If you're really serious about getting rid of them. But I just want to be able to. Can't we just coexist a little bit in our gardens with these animals? They don't share well. Uh, oh, you got straw. Okay, Robin, thank you. Um, she got strawberries and cherries. So you must have obviously been netting your strawberries or building a nice wire frame around them. I mean, it makes me think, do I have to get like a fruit cage? Um, but I have two cherry bushes. They're not even in yet, and I definitely think I have missed that window. But for next year, I think they will be wonderful. Uh, yes. Yeah, I'm so sorry for Jane's slugs. Oh, golly. Doesn't it seem like everything we grow has like a specific bug or rodent or something that just absolutely love them? And it's all about fighting. Um, I feel like it's a fight this year, like to get everything growing. It just seems to be, and again, I think it's the weather and it's all these rabbits. Um, wow, good question. Nobody ate my asparagus, so we did get a nice asparagus harvest. Um, what else? We've harvested a lot of lettuce, harvested a lot of rhubarb. Uh, yeah, you got to kind of count the. Oh, and I have a lot of garlic scapes that I need to deal with tomorrow. Um, yeah, so my garlic is doing well, um, growing beautifully. Looks like we're going to have a good harvest, unless, somebody else decides to move into the garden and likes um, garlic. My onions are doing well. What else? Tomatoes are taking off a bit, so they're starting to put on some height. Again, those were so small as well this year. I had a little bit of trouble, honestly, uh, even in my inside growing. Things were just, they were stalled a lot this year. And to the point where I'm thinking, do I need to start things earlier? But when I start things too early, I end up with uh, enormous plants. So I don't want to overreact to the fact that that it was hard this year. It might just be the year. Uh, oh, Robin has a question for the group. Has anyone had ants take out a plant? I've had 3 cabbage go down, and the only thing I found was a massive amount of ants at the roots. No, I have not, but I know a corner of one of my beds seems to have an ant. I don't the ant colonies, ant nests, I'm not sure what those are called. Um, but I know they can do damage for sure. Um, I don't know if but anybody please answer. Uh, yeah, no, I've already harvested my scapes. Like, and I usually use that as my meter for when the garlic comes out. Um, I when I harvest the scapes, then it's usually about 2, maybe 3 weeks, and the garlic is done. So I have to really watch that because I've never had scapes this early. Never. So, well, the good news is we're out of a garlic scape pesto, so I can get that going again, which will be great to have back, um, canned up and ready to use. It's hard when when you like something a lot and it runs out and you gotta wait till the next year to get it, right? Oh, your colettes. Wow. Okay, so you definitely are in the same boat. Now my colettes aren't even in the ground yet. That's I had to get one more mesh hoop so I could keep those white cabbage butterflies off. And that just arrived. So get an anteater. Well, you might lose a lot of things if you get an anteater. I mean, the rabbits might not even like those. Uh, oh wow. Hmm. Yeah, I would say I was about 2 weeks early too on the scapes. Yeah, because I usually harvest my garlic around 4th of July weekend. That's kind of a it's not, put in stone, but that's usually when I have done that, and now I'm like, I'm gonna be harvesting this stuff before, um yeah, before July for sure. Steven's wondering, will anteaters eat rabbits? I don't know, but they'd scare me. So they might scare the rabbits and they can go stay somewhere else. At least that's what I would hope for. Oh, that is a really good idea, Steven. I never thought about that. Because that actually would still be plenty of time for pepper plants. Huh. What a good use of space. That is, uh, I'm going to steal that idea. I will give you credit for it, but I'm going to use that idea. That is a brilliant thing to do um, after the garlic comes out. Wow. Yes, that is great. Um, I didn't even know what scapes were until recently. I just been putting them. Oh, yeah, no. They are, oh my goodness, you will just love them. They are lovely. I think they're mild. I've heard some people say they think they're stronger. I must grow really strong garlic, uh, but they make a lovely pesto, and we put them in a lot of stir fries, um, and they're great grilled. So if you're a griller in the summer, um, they're wonderful to have. Oh, and that's also a good idea, Robin. Huh. Well, you learn something every day. I think those are both great ideas. Yeah, because bush beans are I mean, those are up and gone in 55 days, right? 55, 60 days. Yeah, I think I usually do root crops after my garlic comes up. Um, oh, what a great idea. Wow, this is wonderful. Stephen, that's a great idea. After you pull up, here, let me put this on. This is a great idea. So you just kind of rotate through after the peppers. I bring in the manure, plant the garlic in October. Beautiful. I mean, that's a nice rotation for a bed or for an area. That's awesome. I like both of those ideas. Um, yeah, and I also have followed garlic many times with fennel because I like to put my fennel in after the days, which I can't believe we're talking about days getting shorter. But after summer equinox, I like to uh, start my fennel then. Yeah, I've had better success with fennel after planting them later in the year, not in the spring. So that's kind of what I've done, but I like both of those ideas. Those are great. Um, yeah, those are great ideas. Okay, let's see. This is Chris. How was your shopping escape? Did you manage to get everything planted? No, no. I still have two 8-foot tables covered with things that need to get in. So, yeah, yeah. It's we've been dealing with a lot of intermittent rain, and then sometimes the heat has been horrific. And the form of MS I have, the heat really impacts. Some people with it are like, "Oh, I love the heat. It makes me feel good." Well, if I get overheated, um, it just kind of takes me out. So I like today's 85. I'm not going out there gardening today. I mean, it's not in my best interest. I will regret that for almost a week if I do that today. So I'm not doing that. Um but yeah, no, I have a lot of pots planted up from what I got um at those garden centers because it was a lot of flowers. And I'm trying to think what else I still have to put in from my little garden adventure. No, it's so fun. The places were great. And next year I will take the GoPro along and show you because they're incredibly different. They're both about the same. They carry a lot of the same things. One is a little more expensive, and it's a little more, I don't want to say organized because the other one's organized. It's just a different kind of organized. Um, Let me see. Sorry, I read something with it. So anyway, I'll take the camera along. The one that I really love is the one that we I videoed last year. I just love it, and they're also knowledgeable, and half of them are actual farmers who are, growing these things. So, when did you get your garlic planted outside? I put my garlic in. It was a little late this year, but it was like November. Uh, might have, maybe 5, 7. So I usually try to get it um, in October, but that window just passed me. So, wow. Yeah, so I try for October, end of October, just a little before Halloween. But I do a soak on my garlic before I plant them, and they seem to root really quickly. So I'm not worried too much if I get them in a little bit later. Uh, okay, wait a minute. Looks like there was Stephen had. All I saw was I had 120 or 45 okra plants outside in deep root trainers waiting to go out. Oh, this weather is just so weird. So weird. Yeah, so weird. Uh yeah, I do the same, Stephen. I aim for Halloween for garlic. And it helps with the vampires. So, it all goes together quite well. Um oh, bye Leanne. Thank you for being here. And we'll try Wine Wednesday next week. How about that? That'd be a good name for the live Wine Wednesday. Although we want to whine a little bit, but then we want to try to get each other uh, encouraged enough to go back out and battle all the bugs and diseases and everything else. Hi, George. I imagine but I don't know. I've never had it. Um, but I know in the UK, it just seems like it goes and like once it's in the ground, also, isn't it? It kind of stays with the land, doesn't it? Um, but yeah, I've never had it. So I don't know if anybody else um, would know. Luckily, I've never had it. But I find that everything like on Potty Mouth, if we talk about something, there's been a lot of slug talk and snail talk. And I had a snail. I've never had a snail before. And I ended up with a snail. So I don't know. I blame that show sometimes for some of the things that come my way. Oh goodness. Uh oh, don't grow up, Stephen. It's really overrated. And adulting is, it's adulting, right? So does anybody have a problem if you're from the US? Does anybody have problems with white rot? No, honestly, alliums are one of the things that grow really well for me. And I always said that too about peppers. And I don't know if I'm going to get any peppers this year. The plants are so little. So we shall see. Um, okay, Peter. We'll just call you Peter. Oh, already? Okay, Robin has got her first spot of powdery mildew. Yeah, I was going to say I usually hit that in August. That becomes uh, my thing is the powdery mildew just kind of takes over. Wow. Okay, we have a okay. Um, Blooms and Veg is also in my area, Metro Detroit. I've only seen slugs after days and days of rain. As for white rot, not yet, but this is the only second year for onions. Yeah, I grow alliums every year, and I've not. But again, I'm one plot of land. Um, so oh, okay. And Betty has white rot. Huh. Oh, okay. So I guess it does exist over here. And one of my neighbors drowned my garden in a foot of water in a week. Oh, yeah. Sorry. It's hard enough. It's hard enough to do our own thing, but when other influences impact, I mean, it's rough. Yes. Yeah, we do need to stay upbeat. Um, how's my pet snail? I have not seen my snail again, but I did photograph it and left he or she to their own devices, didn't do anything. Uh, yeah. uh, do you just thin out the leaves? I mean, that's usually what I do when I see powdery mildew starting. I just give it's usually a squash or a pumpkin or one of those. Or I guess they're all cucurbits, aren't they? It seems like that's where it really goes for me. And I just start clipping off leaves and giving them um, a whole lot of room to have airflow, uh, and see if that kind of helps. I saw I saw a comment that I think passed me right by. Wait a minute. Just a minute. Uh, oh, there we are. It's George. Oh, you're in Ireland. Awesome. We are contemplating a trip to the UK next year. I haven't been there in many years. And I think I've probably told this before. My parents were Scottish nationals. So we would always go back to the UK for vacations because that's where all our relatives were. And had to build a separate allium bed with imported soil. So I've seen a lot of UK gardeners also just put them in pots, like with brand new soil. So it does run with the soil. So is it like a fungus or is it more of I guess it could be a disease. I just wonder if it's more like a fungus. Uh, yeah, no, I'm very glad I haven't had that. Um, maybe I could feed that to the rabbit that is annoying me so much. uh, interesting. Okay. So what other successes are we having right now in our gardens? Yeah, I'm sorry. I really set the tone for this starting by bitching a little bit about the rabbits. So I won't do that next week. I might have something new. Maybe the cicadas will be in town by then. I don't think it's been consistently hot enough for them to show up, but we'll see. Uh, yeah, George, that was part of the reason I thought it would be really great to uh, get over there and meet folks in person. And I follow so many UK gardeners because it's only been kind of recent that I think US YouTubes have been going up. I don't know. I found a lot of UK gardeners that I enjoy following. So I was thinking we're going to try to do like a let the um, gardeners like where I know their allotments and whatever, and let that kind of be the guide to where we go and how we do our route and things. So yeah, I think it'd be great fun. And it'd be a fun video, I think, for everybody to meet. Um oh golly. Yeah, my cucumbers aren't even out yet. So one of the other things that's for me coming up, and I think because I'm planting my squash later, I actually think it's better because I may have missed some of the early squash bug problems. So I'm hoping that's the case. Um, Chris's onions are doing well with peas and beans, but my cucumbers died with the wet weather. Yeah, I gotta get mine in. But my peas are doing. This is probably my best year for peas. I'm not growing one shelling pea, but sugar snap and snow peas, which I think in the UK is mange too. Uh, they're phenomenal and they're doing beautifully. Okay. Oh, you might be going. Oh, look at this fun. I'll be going in 2025 too. I go to the UK every 3-ish years. Okay. Yeah, no, as a kid, I was there every other year. Um, Now I don't even know if I know some of my cousins have moved over this side of the pond. Uh, so I don't even know um, if I have any relatives over there still. I'm sure I do, but we sure haven't kept in touch. But yeah, that's awesome. Um, let's see. The honey nut squash are out and doing okay. Today the cukes go out. Awesome. Until the oh, my peas were doing well until the rabbits. My peas are in a bed that's got to be 32 inches tall. So I'm hoping, well, I shouldn't say we have gotten several harvests of them already. So even if they were to nibble, if they could get up there, I'd give them some of those. But I don't mind sharing with them. I just hate when they just take and don't leave anything for those who are working so hard to give it to them. Um, okay, yeah, no, lovely. Uh, yeah, I think it would be fun to uh, meet the gang, so to speak. Yes. Okay, George is calling 2024 the year of the slug. I think I'm going to call it the year of the rabbits, the insatiable rabbits. Although, really, this year is supposed to be the year of the cicadas. So we shall see. Are you seeing a lot, Robin, of cicada action or hearing them doing their little mating call all night? Uh, oh, that's a good idea. So it's kind of the Three Sisters idea, but using growing up peas instead of beans. Um, the peas are doing so well that there isn't enough corn stock. I get it. That's awesome. Oh, look at that. See, we all have a lot in common, don't we? All my people come from London or the UK, and the other side is from the Netherlands near The Hague. Nice. Okay, here's the cicada update. Not many cicadas in my yard, but in neighboring towns, the noise is incredible. Yeah, I have not heard one yet. That's what I mean. I don't think our nights are like hot enough for the cicadas to really get out there and do their thing. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, and I got to tell you, unless you have like a ton of space, growing any kind of squash horizontally, it's crazy. Just the amount of square footage that they take up um, is incredible. Okay, Trude, like the exoskeleton of a cicada. They're very dinosaur like to me. It seems like that was more their um, time. You know, they'd look very prehistoric to me. I would be fine not um, running into one. I'd be really fine with that, but we'll see. I don't think a cicada is a cricket. They live underground for like 13 or 17 years, and then they come out, and yeah, and they are so loud. They're in the trees, and at night, I literally we could be on our deck, and maybe one of our neighbors has stopped by, and we can't hear each other speak because the cicadas are so loud. And I recently found out that that was the male cicadas uh, looking for a mate, or that's like part of their, you know, one of their mating rituals, perhaps. Um, but it was like really loud. So I don't really miss them at this point. Uh, Yeah, I don't think honestly, George, I don't think I would trade, um, for slugs. Um, I really I thank you, um, and I don't like pigeons, and I think snails are pretty bad over there this year too. So, I'll take my rabbits. I'll take my yeah, I'll take my rabbits. Oh, well, thank you, Rob. Yeah, we're gonna kinda lay out a whole little, go around and see everybody. So, yes, thank you. I will, Leicester. Okay, got it. Uh, oh, yeah, Laura, you have to, yes, they're horrifying. At least I think they are. I know, like, people think they're cool, and I'm not a bug person. Never really been a bug person, but don't mind dirt, but I'm not, a huge bug fan. Uh, oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah, it's disheartening a little bit, I think. Yeah, and they get worse in the summer. Um, ooh, exactly. Yes. That's why I'm like, I would not trade anything for a slug. I have heard so much, um, and I've seen so much of the damage those horrifyingly looking wormy things, can do. I can eat rabbits, but not slugs. Well, some people can eat snails. Little escargot there. Um, I don't know. Anyway, I'm not gonna say anything. But Uh, everybody has their own taste buds, correct? Okay, so gosh, we're almost at an hour. Uh, so I think the theme for this coming week is don't worry, be happy. Maybe that's what we need to think about. Like we can handle slugs, or at least we can continue to fight the good fight against slugs and uh rabbits and squirrels and wow. Okay, even in Arizona, which uh, is essentially I'm kind of I'm in the Midwest, just uh, which is kind of anyway. That's not going to be a good description. But let's put it this way: Arizona is quite far from me. It's like in the Southwest, uh, and on an acre and in an open desert area. The rabbits are terrible. So maybe it's just the year of the rabbit. Because wow. Well, Donna, I am so glad that you were able to pop in. So glad. So anyway, so I think this week we need to I don't know, keep now I don't want to say keep a stiff upper lip because I don't really that's not really how I do it. But let's be positive. Let's count our wins more than our losses, even though the losses are the ones that we have to grieve. Um yeah, so let's count our wins, right? And I'm going to be on my garlic, seeing how the leaves are, starting to brown up. And I had an onion whose neck like fell right over. And I thought, no, this is way too early for my onions to come out. So we got to kind of play a little bit of that game. So, anyway, thank you so much. I will not be whining about rabbits next week, I promise. So we'll get off to a more of a positive start. But I thank you all for letting me get that off my chest at least. I feel like I've shared the shared struggle, right? To deal with all of that. Anyway, Uh, thank you all for being here. It's not lost on me that even it's live for everybody. So I really thank you for taking time out to be here. So we will see you next week. Next week, I have uh, Lawrence from Ebenezer Cottage Garden as a guest, and we'll have a lovely chat. And let's see how his slugs and snail action is going on. And yeah, so you all have a great week. And I'll say potty mouth on Monday as well. And yeah, bye for now. And I'll take this off. Bye for now, and I will see you next time.